It's Submitting Live with Ty Gay and Chase Hill.
Tell us when we're live, Brad Reed. We want to know when the people are listening to.
Oh,
we're going?
Oh, no. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Ty Gay and Chase Hill.
What's up, everybody? Man,
It's our podcast.
It is.
Yeah,
It's our third one. In case you guys don't know that. Number 3.
Yep. That's my new gang sign for this episode.
Is that part of our cult?
Yes, we are starting our own cult of love. Is it love?
I don't know if we came up with a name for it.
I want to be lovey.
Lovey.
Very much so. In this day and age, for sure, right?
Yeah, we need some love after
Yeah.
everything that's happened.
Most definitely. So, what's been going on in your life since the last podcast?
Last podcast? Not a whole lot, really. Just been teaching a lot. Doing a little bit of work here and there. We're getting more and more traction through our downloads and everything like that.
Yes.
So each episode keeps getting more and more. So
Yes.
thank you, everybody. Thank you for downloading, subscribing.
Yes, we are very thankful for that.
Moving on. So
Yeah,
what was your
super
weekend
cool.
like? What'd you do?
Well, a lot. We're working on, as you know, curriculum. So we have a bunch of jiu-jitsu things that are going on here at our academy. And so working on a lot of that and then a bunch of band stuff too. I actually have a song that I'm doing with Roy Dean. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, for those that don't know. He does some weird techno, Nine Inch Nails sounding kind of stuff. And so I'm doing a song with him, which is pretty cool. So I got a lot, but I always have a lot going on.
Are you doing like a remix with him, or are you guys like
No,
making your
it's a
own
song. We're writing a song together. It's he's written all the words, but he's given me like freedom to do whatever I want. So I'm just kind of going into a song that he had previously, and doing some cool stuff in there. So it seems pretty fun. I like it.
That'd be cool. That's a cool collaboration. He's
Yeah.
done other collabs too.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I like him a lot. We get along great. Good jiu-jitsu guy for sure.
Really good jiu-jitsu guy. We had him come in for a seminar. He came in here.
Yes.
Did one. He's coming in here again in November.
December.
December.
No, it'll be December. Yeah, we're gonna have him on the podcast. It's gonna be great. Yeah, he can come in and talk about. We'll ask him all sorts of crazy questions. In fact, if you can think of anything crazy to ask him that you would like us to ask him, let us know and we will do that.
Yeah, it was cool. We got to when he was here. We got to hang out, and he told us his story, how he lived over in Japan and
Right.
everything that at a young age. So
Yeah.
he's got a very interesting life.
Yeah, it's
he's grown up
legit, man.
much different than many people.
Love listening to anybody that has information about stuff like that, in any kind of history or lineage stuff. And man, he's a walking book for sure.
Now you've been to Japan too, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Yep, it was a great experience over there. It was pretty life changing, actually. Yeah, so we'll have to dedicate a whole podcast to that one probably. But yeah, I was a lay Buddhist for 8.5 years, and I went there on a Buddhist pilgrimage.
Interesting.
It was pretty crazy.
How long ago was that?
Before I had strong internet connection. So something like that. Yeah.
So it was a minute ago then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know you.
Spent a few weeks over there.
I know
It
you've
was
talked about how you wanted to go back to Japan.
Most definitely, but right now with the whole nuclear thing with
With
North Korea and
North
stuff,
Korea.
I'm gonna have to I don't know. I'm just so paranoid about stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. I think paranoia is a little bit of a good thing now.
I think it's the natural human. It's what our body wants to do. It wants to be paranoid. It wants to
Right.
look out for anything of danger. It doesn't. You shouldn't be always happy. Think everything's always good. I think it's a natural defense for our bodies.
Yeah.
Is to be paranoid.
In fact, I think that. Should we talk about that now?
Yeah,
we
let's
should go into that.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. So, as we all know, there was a horrible tragedy that happened in Las Vegas. The worst massacre that in American history, as far as gun violence goes, and I have a lot of friends that live there, and I was just there just a few weeks ago, right on the strip, right where the bullets were flying. So I understand, what that place is like right there, and like the people there, and like there's people that actually live there. It's not just the strip, right? There's a bunch of people that actually live there and work there, and so my heart goes out to everybody that's there. And I saw some things, as we all did on a lot of the videos, and I'm not here to talk about the conspiracy theory part of all of it, because what am I going to do? Figure it out through YouTube? Am I going to be a YouTube detective right now and
Facebook detective.
and tell you guys the answers to all this stuff? And yeah, really, that seems a little bit, I don't know, disrespectful right now with all of the people that have died. So what I would say, though, is that there is some things that was really obvious that we should all be paying attention to. And so I and my students play a game, and it's called How Many People, How Many Exits? And this is just really, and when we go into I don't know, it could be just a restaurant or any place, we're trying to figure out how many people are in there guesstimation-wise, and then how many exits are there? How many exits, and what are the bottleneck exits? Bottlenecks are where people are going to go in bulk, meaning that typically wherever people come in, that's where they're going to go out. And so you have to watch for that, and that's where everybody's going to kind of bunch up. And that's where in a large situation like 22,000 people, you're going to get a really big, bad bottleneck, and people are going to trample over each other, and this is bad. So what I suggest is that we all have a plan. And this is not just to be paranoid. This is just to have a plan. You should have a plan of, well, this is where we're going to meet up at. If your car is far enough away from whatever said venue, then fine, that can be your what's called waypoint. And you're going to make a waypoint with your friends or family or whoever. But if you are parking close to the venue, you want to have a separate waypoint that's further away in case there's a fire, active shooter, bombs, whatever, you know. And so make sure that that's an established plan. I even would go one step further and say walk the plan, meaning that if it's like a block away, I would actually walk that little area and just know what it is. If I'm going to any kind of a big type event, if I'm going to even a small event, even when you may call me paranoid, but even if I go to like a restaurant, there's a parking space right by the front door, I don't take it. I take one a little bit further back, a little bit more strategic in case there was an active shooter. You know, and I have this plan with whoever's with me, my friends, my woman, my whoever. I have a little bit of a plan before I go in, and just that little bit of a plan is better than not having a plan at all. And in the first 60 seconds of something happening, whatever it is, that's your chance to get out. Mm-hmm. Your odds are better in that first 60 seconds than they are after that. Your odds are going down after that, ladies and gentlemen. So it's better to get out then and save your ass then. Right? So it's super important, I think.
I think it's a good idea to even have a plan, not even for just venues or restaurants that you're going to be in, but like, I know they make kids do this sometimes, but like if you're at a house and your house is on fire,
correct,
like, and you have to exit your house really fast.
Right, a fire plan. That's what you're always told. Have a fire plan.
Where's
right?
the meeting plan?
That's
like,
right.
Are you meeting at the mailbox? Are you meeting at the neighbor's house? Where should you go? So this is something that you can do, not even just for going out to eat or going to a venue, but you should always just kind of be aware. And
it's preparation.
You know, that's a big thing. You know, we're martial art teachers, and so we talk about this, but that's one of the biggest things that we even try to give off to our students is just even being aware of stuff that's happening. If something looks weird, it most likely is weird.
Yeah.
Not that there, aren't exceptions.
Yeah, we get so complacent. And that's something else I saw in those videos is like when the gunshots first went off, people first were like, it's the PA or it's fireworks or it's a helicopter. Those are the three main things, right? And because of something being an anomaly like that big of an anomaly like that, certain people were running. Mm-hmm. And that's the time, ladies and gentlemen, when you see a part of or a portion of the crowd that starts to freak out and run, then you should be going to your plan. And that's not to say just to run, because those people are probably running to the bottleneck. And so you should have had your plan already planned out, and then ooh, that's where we're going. If we get separated, we're meeting at the waypoint, right? Something else I think that is important is take my belt off right here. If you can watch us on YouTube right now, you're seeing me take my clothes off.
Quick plug. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube.
So check this out. This is a belt that I have on right now. And it's one of those kind of belts that you can kind of lace through. Sorry, that you can kind of lace through. Can you hear me, Brad Reed?
Uh-huh.
And when you do this, when you lace it through there, it can make like a really good tourniquet. So if like Chase gets shot in the arm or whatever, you can like lace this up a little bit tighter than you could like a normal belt. Or even if you don't need like...
Make sure you leave me a room for some pump.
Yeah.
For some pump.
Yeah. So you can tourniquet that off, which is pretty good. And then, I think it's just a good thing to have things like that if you're going out to like a high risk area. And you should think about those things now. We live in a day and age where you have to think about those kinds of things. When my band goes out and stuff, we have a special plan. We have a waypoint where the band's going to meet in case something goes down, like there's a fire or an active shooter or a bomb or something just bad happens. There's a huge bar fight, for example. Mm-hmm. So we want to get the heck out of there. And maybe you don't want to go directly to the bus. You want to go to that waypoint. So these are just some things that I think are very important just to think about. Anybody can do them too. You don't have to be like a jiu-jitsu. You don't have to be like Chase. You don't have to be some sort of awesome jiu-jitsu guy.
My shirt says jiu-jitsu on it, by the way.
You could just hear this podcast, understand those things, and implement them like some sort of a little plan.
How do you feel about that? Someone actually gave me the stat the other day. It's not really, I guess, a stat. But in our lifetime now, we've seen all 3 of the most mass shootings. Like in our lifetime, because each one keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
But
they're going to get bigger too.
At one time, it was maybe there was one, and then there wasn't another one as big for some time. But now, in our lifetime, we've seen all 3. It just keeps going up and up and up.
Correct. It's
so that's
get
interesting.
Worse. Just like the hurricanes, they're going to get bigger. Different topic.
Why is that, Ty?
Oh man. So yeah, these are things that are going.
It's the quarrel.
It's the natural evolution of things. So it's just important to not be necessarily scared by them, but understand them and look where the trends are going. So just look for trends, and there will be ebb and flows. Things will go up and go down. So it's not that things will be bad forever or things will be good forever, but you have to watch where the trends are going and be aware of them. And I think that's something we do as jiu-jitsu practitioners, because we're always looking for human nature cues and stuff, so.
If you had to pick end of the world type movie, would you rather it be more Mad Max or Waterworld style, where the whole water, all the
Would
world
I
is...
rather it be?
Yeah, which one? Would you rather be Mad Max,
So let me get
where
this
everything's
straight.
in desert? No.
I get complete desert Mad Max
Yes,
or complete water.
Waterworld. Which one would you like to have?
God dang, I think maybe
Or like
Waterworld.
Blade Runner type deal.
Oh, don't give me a third one. That's Blade Runner's super weird through in there. I don't know. If I had to choose
Mad
like
Max
anything like that,
or Waterworld?
No, I don't know. Mad
like
Max
jet
seems
skis a
too
lot.
I don't like the sand.
I don't either. I like jet skis.
I'm a tropical person, so I would say probably Waterworld.
Waterworld. Sorry for that, everybody. I popped in my brain. This is what happens when you listen to
Here we are out here helping people, making a difference in life with our wonderful podcast. And okay, so we're not really making that big a difference. All right, so moving
just
on.
giving ideas. What do you got next on your agenda over there?
About being programmable.
Programmable. You
Yeah,
did a Facebook Live about this today. Actually,
I think it was just a video because I couldn't go live for some reason.
Oh,
I
it was
couldn't
a video?
upload.
Oh.
Yeah, so I try to go Facebook Live as much as possible and do that stuff just because it's fun. Because I love hearing myself talk. But
It's like a small podcast.
it is.
Ty's been doing podcasts
my life is
before
like a
he was
small-
podcasting.
That's right. My life is a small podcast. So I think that we're programmable, and here's why. And I know this because of being a jiu-jitsu teacher again. So being a jiu-jitsu teacher gives you a few insights to things. Also, I'm a musician, so I understand this from being a musician from early on. You're able to drill or practice or do things in concession, and it sticks with you. So being able to program yourself like this or to learn things is what makes us unique. As human beings, we can learn a wide variety of things, which makes us like individuals, you could argue. So I think that because we don't hold that in as high a regard as we maybe should, sometimes we're laxed on the ways that we're allowing ourselves to program ourselves, because it's up to you what you watch. It's up to you what you see. It's up to you what you do. It's up to you what you say. It's up to you what you say to yourself. So if for example, if I'm watching some show that's negative, the news, that's my vice. I can get caught up on watching the news, and I ping back and forth between like Fox and CNN. I think it's funny because they're so contrastly different. Contrastly?
Yeah, they'll be talking
contrastly.
They'll be talking
contrastly different. That's a new word I just made up. Contrastly.
They'll be talking about the same thing, but have way too different points on them.
Yeah, so it's insane. And the thing you have to think about is like they're not really wanting our attention because they're trying to help us. They're really wanting our attention because they need our time. And that's the new commodity right now is time. They want your eyeballs to look at things for longer. And it's your decision of what your eyeballs look at. So, and that's your programming. You're programming yourself. There's things that they're offering to program you with. And it's because there's a reason for it. They're getting something out of it. Money, right? They're getting money, which gives them power. So I think it's important that we live in a day and age right now where you could actually program yourself. If you had enough want or drive or direction about yourself, you could actually program yourself for anything that you really want. Right now, we live in a day and age where it's the most wonderful day and age in the world. It looks like things are horrible because of the news and things that are, because as humans, we pick up bad things. That's what we're designed to look for. So, because if you log bad things, that means those bad things won't kill you. But there's some great things going on. We live in the best part of humanity right now in human history. So right now is a time to be able to program yourself to do the things that you really want to do and to make a difference. I truly believe that. And so, but it's so easy. It's so easy. It's almost like diet. It's easy to fall into going to just to McDonald's or to go into CNN or to go into Fox or whatever and playing them back and forth because it's fun. It's so easy to go to those kinds of things and let that start to infuse with you. Because check this out. Have you noticed that when you go to sleep and when you dream, it's part of your previous day or days? Things like that filter into your dreams. It's because that's what is making up the fabric of you. And this is important. So we should pay really close attention as to how we are programming ourselves because we can. We can program ourselves now. Wake up, this is what I suggest. Wake up and do a meditation. Not a meditation about some sort of kundalini, whatever, but just breathe. Sit there and just be effing quiet for a second and breathe for maybe 5-10 minutes. And then let your day come to you and then move on. And then think about all the things you want to accomplish and figure out what I'm going to program myself with to get that accomplished with. Is it going to be the Kardashians? Is it going to program me to make my goal happen? Maybe. Maybe you need to study them. It's some sort of experiment you need to study. I get that. So I'm just saying that make sure you know what your goals are and make sure you're programming yourself for those goals. Because nobody else is going to program you for that. That's the nut of it. And people out there that are supposed to get it will. And the people that won't, there's a left shoe and a right shoe. Everybody's needed in this world.
I think the perfect way to say that is a book suggestion is if you've not read 1984.
Boom.
There's your book suggestion. They're about programming and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Right there.
That's crazy to think that a book like that was written way before 1984, but it's very eerie.
Yeah, there's some interesting things in that. Art always, pushes things like that. So pushes reality. So life imitates art. There's an old saying for a reason, So it's interesting, right?
That is interesting.
But
like you said,
I believe in a great world, a great new future. So I think that there's good things.
And
it's
I
not
think
just going to be horrible.
With all the news and everything, it's hard to find, and I think we talked about this on another podcast, but it's people, need to realize that this is like you said, best time in human history. It's hard that everyone says, oh no, we're going back. Our president, we're going back in time. Oh, yeah. We're in worse places. And I think if you just look 100 years ago, it was way worse. 100 years than today. So
it's just we're all more connected now. Yeah. So now we see like all the bad shit that's out there. So
there are freaking grocery stores where you can walk in and buy your food.
Yes.
Okay. 200 years ago, you couldn't do that. So don't tell me that it is better back then, or even 50 years ago, or even
Well,
then it
no,
wasn't. No.
we're always better now than we were yesterday.
I think there are just so like things are.
But we focus on the bad stuff. That's
Yeah.
what we're designed to do. Listen, it's good that we're focused on that stuff because that's what's kept us alive as a species for this long. Because we're always looking out for the tiger that's in the woods or whatever bad stuff that's going to go on. That's what
and we
we're
look at the bad
designed to look
stuff, and we
for.
typically fix the bad stuff, if you want to say fix, or help improve the bad stuff.
Yeah, keep it from happening
Keep it
to
from
us.
happening. What's going to happen one day when there's no bad stuff? Were we going to create bad stuff?
Yes.
You think that's what's going to
I
happen?
think so, man. I think that there will be not, like remember the Matrix? The first Matrix is like we created a world that was perfect, and the crops were dying by massive amounts or whatever.
Or
It
even
was because it was perfect, and so we made it imperfect, and you thrived. Yeah, it's the
or
same
even
thing.
to the Batman movie with Heath Ledger and the Joker, and he goes, everyone just needs a little chaos, and sometimes all you just need is a little push. And so,
But I don't even think that it's a human problem.
People
this
freak
is
out.
going to be a big jump, but I think that it's not a human problem at all. I think it is a life solution because it's something that evolution does. It has to have a chaos. It has to have a Joker card in there because it shakes stuff up and changes stuff out and makes it spread out into different directions. So, without getting too far into that.
no, man, this is submitting life podcast. We're
right.
talking about life.
Good point. Good point.
What do you mean?
All right.
What else we got on the list?
Let's see. Death as a motivation.
Oh,
well,
God. Uh-oh.
I like to bring this up on occasion because also when I'm asleep at night, when I wake up with the dreams of whatever I have about the previous day or days, I also wake up and think about I'm not going to have an eternity amount of these days or nights or where I wake up or whatever. And so I know that it's going to come to an end. And every day I think about it, maybe a little more every single day, which makes me just, I don't want to say paranoid, but very, I have a very interesting sense of call to action because I know that I'm going to die. And I have a pretty good, I can see other people have died and good friends of mine to people that I don't know that are just history book people. So we know that people die. My animals have died. So, but most people put it out of their mind and they dismiss it. I don't dismiss it at all, and I keep it in the forefront of my mind, and it drives me to do the things that I want to do. There are some, and it's because, and this may not be for everybody, but it's because I'm a lazy person. I'm lazy sometimes. I want to sit at home sometimes and just sleep. Just lay on the couch. I would way rather sometimes just play the Xbox than go out and do anything. And I think that there's some slice of time for that. But if I just let myself get into that rut, I would just be a piece of crap. I wouldn't do much of anything. I wouldn't really be much of a help to life, and I wouldn't have the kind of life that I have. I feel like I have a quality of life that's better than the other way. And listen, I used to be way more out for just myself. Before of jiu-jitsu and all these things, before I was young and didn't understand things, I was just trying to find things for myself to get better at, whatever. But I realized that giving more to others, makes me a better person, makes me feel like it's, doing more, and knowing that death is coming makes me do more of that. Makes me give more to others, makes me
It makes you want to accomplish things.
Yeah.
It makes you want to get stuff done before.
Yeah, the sense of urgency, for sure. And I think it's good not to be paranoid because, no, we're going to die. But yes, you're going to die. And this is an amazing moment that you're in right now. You look at all this great stuff. Look, I got Brad Reed right there.
Well, you guys are being
amazing.
able to see us through probably 15 different forms of platforms right now.
That's pretty
YouTube,
crazy, yeah.
audio. Think about that.
Yeah, my grandma just died the other day, a few months ago. She was 92 years old. And I remember asking her, Grandma, what's the most amazing thing that you've experienced in your lifetime? And I was thinking that it was going to be the phone, because we're sending pictures with our phones, and she thought that was amazing, right? That you could send a picture through the air. Right? And it is amazing. Think about it. So
We're witches.
But I was like, what is the most amazing thing that you've experienced? And she said, by far, running water.
Wow.
Whoa, that's crazy, right? So think of how much technology has improved in the last 100 years and how amazing we have it right now and the opportunities that we have right now. Yes, we are focused on some negative things that go on in the news and things like that, but there's some really amazing things that we can also do right now that we could never do before. And I think that the idea of death being back there is a good idea to keep us pushing forward towards that stuff. Did you want to talk about the new merchandise that's coming up? Did you tell them about that yet?
No, we didn't say that.
It's pretty crazy.
It's coming up.
So we've got hoodies. And look, it's got that on there. It's going to be better than that. It's going to be a very nice hoodie made out of, was it doll hairs and children's tears? Is that right? Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Let me check with the distributor. Make sure that that's the...
it's not made in the USA.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's made on the moon. So, but...
So we've been to the moon?
That's a rumor. That's a rumor. Just for making hoodies. We also have some sponsorship packages, things that we're going to talk about coming up. Right now, we don't have all that set up, and we've had some different people contact us about it, and we're really thankful and just glad that we've had interest at all, or even downloads at all. But we are going to set something up that we're setting up in the next few weeks.
We're hopefully going to also have a website being built, and the good thing with that is that if you can download the old episodes from the website, you'll be able to do all that, because the coolest thing with audio and even video now with YouTube, but audio is going to be there for a long time. Right. So if you're listening to this podcast and it's 5 years later, you can go get all the other ones too.
That's true, yeah.
So we'll have that built, which will be with all the merchandise, everything else.
Yeah.
What else do we plug? Make sure social media. We also, fan art has been freaking awesome. Oh my
God, we love it.
We have a lot of fan art. We've had, I know 2 or 3 people that just, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll have freaking fan art in my inbox.
Yeah, please send us more. We love it. We would like to make,
and we use it. We'll post it.
With your, yeah,
we'll post it. So if you're
may one day make a coffee mug with your art on it.
We could.
We'll send you one.
And then maybe we'll give you a T-shirt back one day.
Or a coffee mug.
Or a coffee mug with your stuff on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But you can follow us, Submitting Live Podcast, on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, what is your Instagram name? Is it just Ty Gay?
Unicorn. No, wait, sorry, that was the wrong one. Ty Gay GJJ, and that's pretty much everywhere.
That's and then your Facebook's just your name.
It is. There's not many Ty Gays out there. There's one guy who's black and he runs real fast. I'm not that guy. In fact, it's 50-50 if I run if somebody's chasing me. You know what I'm saying? If I feel good,
double leg them.
I'll run like a little bit,
You're gonna
and then
double
I'm
leg
just going to turn around and sit down and hang out for a while.
Butt scoot a little bit.
Yeah.
And then also, what other social media? Oh, my social media. I'm on Facebook too. Just Chasen Hill. And then my Instagram is also Chasen Hill. So make sure you follow that. And then make sure if you like this podcast, leave us 5 stars.
Yes.
Leave us 6 if you can.
And a comment.
Yes. Yeah, we have 9 now on iTunes.
Holy crap!
We have 9
really?
comments. Yeah, already.
Whoa, 9 comments. Let's get to 19. Come on, people.
Let's keep
We
it
can
pushing.
do this.
Keep it pushing. Coffee mug your way one day.
Yes. Coffee mugs are coming. To all of you, we will be the Oprah of coffee mugs. You get a coffee mug. You look under your seat right now. That's a coffee mug. So, we also have some other big stuff that are, is coming with our jiu-jitsu and I don't know. Do we want to call it an association? I don't like the word association. We're gonna say with our ideals. Mm-hmm. Okay, so some good stuff coming with that. Also in the future, I would say February-ish, 6-ish. So, IBJJF. Somebody asked me to speak about that. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like rules, man. I'm more for like
EBI.
Yeah, EBI.
Even though it has rules, but it's more.
People are going to be
rules.
mad at this because I'm a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt, right? And Eddie Bravo is like they want to think that he's like, because he runs 10th Planet, he's a different affiliation, but he is a Machado black belt, which is basically a Gracie black belt. You idiots! It's all the same. We're all the same.
All right.
So anyway, I love that. Rule set better. EBI better than IBJJF. Think it's crap.
Quickly, what was our questions that we picked out? So, and you kind of, they're all kind of
old school
versus new school.
Versus new school. I think that
I think it's more organized now for sure.
most definitely, yeah. There's curriculum and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and before it was based off like just
What do
hang
you want to
out.
learn?
And whatever that instructor was, it
Yeah.
was like whatever he really liked out of jiu-jitsu, And so now I think it's more curriculum based for most of the big places that are doing big stuff. There's still that mom and pop type feel of you go to a guy and he teaches you just the things that he likes, and that's fine. I think there's all places for in jiu-jitsu for all that kind of stuff. So
What about staying in jiu-jitsu? What did you get some tips of people who are
Wait,
we
I
kinda-
didn't
oh.
cover old school basics versus new school basics. Somebody asked me about that, and I thought it was
Well,
really, really important.
The old
So-
school didn't really have basics, did it?
Well, I mean, they had fundamental movements, like there was
Like a shrimp. That's
well,
just still
yeah,
basic
but no,
now.
there was basic even self-defense stuff. Like Helson was huge on this. There's a bunch of guys that were really huge on this basic self-defense curriculum that happened. Even the Gracie Academy was like this for a while. And so I think that has changed a little bit. Even Hinner and Hedon have changed the basics to make them more fundamentally sound as far as like the positions and stuff. I just think that it's evolved like anything else. And now when it comes to the sports side of things, I think that has evolved also. I think that for me, the best version of jiu-jitsu is somebody that incorporates all of it. You start off with a real good foundation of street, then you move on to a foundation and more sport. You come originally to stay safe in a real life street fight against somebody bigger and stronger and more aggressive than you, but you stay because it's a fun game that you play with your friends. And if you go out and play this game with it's like people that play pool and they go play like a pool tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun. I play pool with my friends at my house and say I have a pool table. It's great. It's fun. And then I want to go to a tournament. It's great. But I think the division right now, against like sport and street is totally because it makes these little niche things that allow you to sell more product. So yes, I think that sport is a valuable thing. Yes, I think that self-defense is very valuable and what should be your foundation. And so I think that if you have a whole real scope of real jiu-jitsu, it encompasses all of that. But, who am I to say in this topsy-turvy world that we live in?
Well, you're more qualified than some people that are talking out there. I'm just saying.
So the keys to the longevity of jiu-jitsu.
Well, you kind of touched on it there. So a lot of people come for self-defense,
That's
and
right.
then they stay to play with their friends.
That's right.
Now, it's not to say you should always be training your self-defense, like in the sense of touching on it, practicing
Right.
it. But in reality, you're staying.
But a
to
lot of
have
people are
fun.
listening to this and are like, yeah, but that's not true because there's like a couple of guys that are dicks at the academy, right? And they like, we slap it. There's a meme about this guy that everybody sees. We
Yeah.
slap hands. Hey,
Let's
we're
go
gonna
easy.
let's go light.
Yeah, let's
Boom,
go
and
light.
he tries to kill you and rip your face off.
Balls to the wall. Yeah.
So there's a problem with that idea in most schools. Now our academy doesn't have that because we have a protocol.
Sit down and talk to you protocol.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
in the olden days, the protocol was you beat the crap out of that guy, and if he didn't get it, you sent him on his way. But now things are more, more diplomatic, and we're not as evil. So now we sit down with you and we talk to you about the errors of your ways, and then
It's up to you to change.
it's up to you to change. Yeah, and if you don't, then we beat the crap out of you and send you on your way. So, but some schools do not. Because some schools need the money or they need the student or they think that guy might be tough in a tournament or whatever. And that's bad. It's bad for your group. Those of you out there that are trying to just do that because that guy can really, he'll be able to take all the heads off in the white belt division.
World champion white belt.
Yes. Then you should kick him out. I mean,
Well, but
you can reform some of those people if you talk to them. And then if they
Yeah.
still aren't reformed, beat the shit out of them. And then help them out.
But the thing is too is if you're trying to build a good school and you truly care about people, and so you're teaching jiu-jitsu, which is why most people teach, and you have someone who comes in and ruins everyone else's experience,
Correct.
Then because you want to keep his money or you think he's a champion,
Not worth
you're
it.
not doing that. Doesn't make any sense.
You're killing it for
You're
everybody.
killing it for everybody.
You're killing it for future generations of practitioners.
Yeah.
So come on, look at the big picture here. So Those people, not jiu-jitsu is for everybody if they can figure out how it works. If they can't, then they should hit the road.
That's it.
Anyway, so
I think we're getting the flashing sign.
I know. So what else? No, that's pretty much it. Just we appreciate each and every one of you, and I've had some other people contact me about doing some stuff about mental health and a plethora of other things. We promise you that we're going to get to these things, and we know that the season is coming of like kind of depression and stuff, because I've had a bunch of people personally message me about this, and I know it's coming. Don't worry, we're going to have some things, and we're going to talk about some grounding techniques and some other things, techniques to help us get through that stuff, and maybe have some guests on the show that will
Who are
give
more
some insight.
experts, possibly.
Yeah.
Because we're just two guys shooting shit on a microphone.
We are really not experts in much.
Yeah.
I would say wouldn't even consider myself an expert in jiu-jitsu, right?
What about
I've been doing
music?
it for 20 years. No, I don't consider no, there's no expert here at all. I am just a
You
guy.
just have experiences.
I'm just a guy that's experienced a few things and just trying to figure it out with you guys. So let's do it, and together we can make it. So
What kind of send-off are you going to give this time? Because last time you gave the Donald Trump talk on your shirt. Come on, how are you going to follow that up?
yeah, there is no following that up. But
We love you guys. Thank you. Leave us
Yeah.
5 stars, and hoodies coming soon.
Don't leave us any stars. Who cares about the stars? what you should really do is tomorrow when you wake up with a sense of urgency and do something. Do something. Just anything. Do something awesome. Do whatever you want to do. That's what I want to do. See? Look.